Hi there, welcome to this practice. My name is Kelsey, and today I'm going to guide you through a yin yoga practice that especially focuses on twists. So there's been lots of speculation of what twists can do, ideas that maybe they are detoxifying. On a physical or physiological level, there's not a lot of evidence to back up that we are detoxifying our liver, which is what detoxifies our bloodstream and processes toxins in the body. But what we can consider is that maybe the act of twisting could help us detoxify emotionally or energetically. And then if you don't ascribe to the idea that our energy needs to be detoxed or that there is energy living in the body, no worries. Twists are also a really great way to lengthen the lower back, to release tension along the spine, and also find opening along the shoulders and the hips. So all you need for practice today is yourself, your mat, and then I want you to have either a large pillow or a couple of pillows that you could stack on top of one another, or a yoga bolster. And we're going to be starting in a forward fold, and then we'll get into our first twist of the practice. So I'll turn sideways so it's a little bit easier to see. Soles of your feet together in front of you. Knees go apart. And depending on how your hips are feeling today and how your lower back feels, you might go ahead and sit up on your bolster or your blanket, or you can just go ahead and start to let gravity help you round forward. I like to have palms face up, resting either on my legs or in front of my legs. Head drops forward and down. Spine can round. And if the floor feels really far away and you're not sitting up on your bolster or pillow, you could bring it in front of you instead, and forearms to the pillow can feel really nice, really supportive. And so again, just letting gravity create this shape for you. Connect with your breath. And so with yin yoga practices, we're holding the poses for at least 3 minutes. And each pose we want to be still. We want to soften and relax the muscles. We want to be in the pose in that still and soft state for the duration of time. And then there's a brief period of release and rebound whenever we come out of the pose. So it's a very slow and introspective style of asana practice. And it's really teaching us how to be present with sensations, whether they are intense sensations or uncomfortable sensations, giving the discomfort and the comfort an equal amount of attention, and also becoming more aware of how emotions move through your body. So again, in some of these twists, you may feel emotions rise up, and I encourage you to just let them flow through. Try not to push them down. Start to let gravity feel a little bit heavier. Maybe bring to mind an intention that you want to work with, something that you intentionally want to let go of in this practice. And every exhale, let it go. One more breath in. Use your exhale to help to lift your head. Bring your hands in front of you and press down. Use the strength of your arms to slowly rise out of the forward bend, back to upright. Shoulders back and down. And again, there's this little pause before we go into the next pose that you can kind of shift your weight side to side, wiggle out your spine, your hips, your shoulders, and just feel the after effect of the pose in your body. And then we're going to turn to face the long edge of the mat and bring your left shin parallel to the long edge of your mat with your left knee in alignment with your left hip. And I'm going to scoot just a little bit closer towards the base of my mat here. And then you're going to internally rotate your right thigh, pointing your right knee down towards the bottom of your mat, and your right foot is going back behind you. So you have kind of a zigzag shape happening in your legs. And if you're leaned over to your left hip, that's totally okay. We're going to now grab your pillow or your bolster, bring it long ways on your mat right up to your left hip. Frame your hands over the bolster and then lower your chest and the side of your head onto the support of the prop. And so you can intensify this and increase sensation by turning your right ear to the mat. But if that causes any discomfort in your neck, your shoulders, or your jaw, or along your spine, just come back to your left ear onto your bolster or your pillow. And then you can kind of just snuggle in here, either staying up on your forearms or letting the support of the pillow be what's keeping you lifted a little bit. And so these are called closed twists. We're closing off the front of the body in the twist. This in particular is a deer twist. Breath awareness goes towards the back of your ribs here, opening in the back body. Every breath in, creating that expansion. Every breath out, letting something go. One more breath in here. Exhale, slide your hands back. Press down into your hands and use your strong arms to help you rise away from the prop. And then we're just going to switch sides. So bringing your legs around in front of you. Again, I'm going to kind of scoot closer to the other edge of my mat and bring my bolster now over to my right hip. Parallel your right shin to the long edge of your mat. Point the left knee down, internally rotating that left thigh. So you have this zigzag shape on the other side. And then just recreating the twist, framing your hands over your pillow or your bolster, lowering down onto forearms, chest down onto your pillow, and then right ear down onto the prop. Again, you could make this more intense by turning your left ear to the prop. Otherwise, keeping the right side of your head down and softening here. Take another breath in. Exhale, slide your hands back. Press down into your strong arms to help yourself rise up. And then all you need to do is just push those pillows or bolster closer to the top of your mat. Keep it going the long ways. And we're going to do a supported back bend, something like a supported fish pose or heart bench is what we call it in yin yoga. And so just scoot your lower back right up to the edge of the pillows. You're not sitting on the pillow or the bolster, your hips are on your mat. But then as you recline down onto your support, you can release your head down, open your arms out beside you, and extend your legs long if that's okay with your back. You can always keep your feet on the mat. Soften everything here into the support of your prop. Slow, steady breaths. Opening through the front of the body after that closed twist. Take another breath in. Exhale, let it go with a sigh. And if you had your legs extended, bend your knees back in, soles of your feet to your mat. Roll over to one side, any side, and press your way up. Move your bolster or pillow out of the way, and we're going to come into swan pose from here. So you can just make your way around into tabletop pose. Left knee is going to slide behind the left wrist, and point your left toes over to the right side of your mat slightly, and then walk your right knee back any amount so that you can get grounded through your hips. Maybe you use your bolster or pillow underneath your hips in this pose. And then making sure that your hips are squared to your mat. We're going to take a twist here, kind of like a thread the needle variation. You're just going to thread the right arm underneath your body, lowering your right shoulder down onto your mat. And you could keep your chest facing the floor more, and it'll get a nice stretch into your right shoulder, or you could lean more so onto the right shoulder to create a twist along your spine, and then left hand reaches behind you. Maybe you just rest it on your lower back or on the floor, or maybe you reach for your left foot, not pulling on the left foot, just touching that area. And then release your right ear down towards your mat. And I do find that it's nice to have something under your head. So maybe if you're not using your bolster underneath your hips, you can have that bolster underneath your head instead. Twisted swan. Not always the most comfortable pose, but again, we're practicing being present no matter what sensations are making themselves known. Inhale, lift your head. If you had your left hand behind your back, bring it in front, press into your hands, and then walk your right knee in, slide the left knee back. Sometimes it can feel good to press back into that leg, or tick-tock your hips side to side or around in circles. And then I'm just going to turn around so that I can stay facing you. But you're just going to switch to the opposite side. So this time as you come into table, you're going to slide right knee behind right wrist, pivoting the right toes to point towards the left, walking the left leg back, sinking your hips down towards your mat or towards a prop. And then before you lower down, threading your left arm underneath your body, left shoulder down, left ear down. And again, it could be more so chest down on the arm, forehead to the back of your hand, or you can reach your right arm towards your lower back and hold on to your foot, not pulling so that you don't catch a cramp, but just touching your hand there. Maybe something underneath your head is most supportive. There's a few different variations. Just try to get settled. And then be with the sensations of the pose. Be with your breath and any emotions that come up while you're here. Take another breath in. Exhale, release your hand in front of you if it was behind your back. Raise up onto your hands. And then walk your left knee in. Slide your right knee back. And move in any way that feels good. Excuse the creaky old floors. It has a lot to say. And for our last twist before we go into Shavasana, you're going to come down onto your back first. So you can bring your hands behind your thighs to help yourself recline down. And then we'll go into a reclined twist plus a back bend, and you can leave the back bend portion out if it's too much for you today. Start by drawing your right knee in towards your body and extending your left leg long. And then I like to go ahead and have my bolster over on the left side of my mat so that as you reach your right arm out beside you and guide your right leg across your body, there's something for the right shin and the right calf to rest down on. So you want to be sure you can keep your chest facing the ceiling while you guide your right leg over. And this might be where you stay today, or you can add the back bend and the quad stretch by bending your left knee, grabbing a hold of the top of your left foot with your right hand, cat pulling its tail, continuing to try to keep your chest facing the ceiling, grounding down through that right shoulder, even if it's not touching the ground, just letting it be heavy, softening through your hips and your abdomen. Close your eyes. And remember, you can let go of the left foot or not hold on to it at all if cat pulling its tail is just a bit too much today. Coming up on our last few breaths here, notice if there's anywhere else you can soften and release tension. On your next exhale, if you're holding on to your left foot, let go and extend the left leg, and then guide your right leg back. And then you can bring both of your feet down to your mat, and you can tick-tock your knees side to side. Maybe extending the legs up, pedaling out the legs and the feet. Maybe a happy baby, especially if you added on the back bend and the quad stretch. And then release any movement or poses that you were doing to feel the release, and move your bolster over to your right if you were using it. Draw your left knee in, extend your right leg long, and then start by guiding your left leg across your body onto the bolster. Reach your left arm out beside you. Maybe you stay here today. Maybe you add on holding on to your right foot for the back bend and the quad stretch. Cat pulling its tail. Slow, steady breaths. Definitely one of the more challenging yin poses, but so good. It hits so many spots on the body. Last few breaths, softening anywhere else that you notice you're still holding on to tension. Deepen your breath. With your next exhale, release whatever you're holding on to. Return to your back. Again, any wiggles that feel good after that deep twist. And then start to close up the movement portion of your practice and make your way into a comfortable Shavasana. You could keep it simple, just having your feet on your mat. You could bring a bolster underneath your knees. That's the option I'll take today. And then just letting your arms rest beside you, softening your whole body into the supports beneath you. Let your breath return to a natural rhythm. And you'll hear my voice when it's time to come back into your space. Enjoy your Shavasana. Remaining just as you are, bring your awareness back to your breath. Start to wiggle fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, nod your head side to side. Move in any way that feels good, maybe eventually taking a big full body stretch as you breathe in, breathing out, letting it go. Draw your legs in, roll over to any side, make your way up to a seat. Again, maybe you sit up on your bolster, maybe not. And sit up nice and tall for closing. Feel that lightness that comes from releasing and processing what is no longer serving you. Feel gratitude for yourself for choosing and prioritizing your practice, prioritizing your well-being. And with gratitude in our hearts, palms together, we'll close with a chant of Om. Wherever you are with your breath, empty out, release. Inhale through your nose. Exhale to chant. Om. Thank you all so much for joining me today for this Yin Yoga Twist practice. I hope that this practice has served you well. Let me know how it went for you in the comments down below, and also be sure to let me know any other practices that you want to see on my channel. I put out a new class every single Sunday, so I hope that you'll subscribe and join me on the mat next Sunday for a new class. Thank you again. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.